Hi, my name is Mike Doyle, and I teach mathematics at North Shore Community College. In this section, we're going to be covering the order of operations with whole numbers. In previous sections in this module, you were performing operations on addition, subtraction, multiplication, division using whole numbers. Today, we're going to thicken the plot just a bit. Just as a reminder, addition and subtraction are inverse operations. They undo each other, and they have the same strength. Multiplication and division are also inverse operations. They have the same strength. Keep in mind that multiplication is a shortcut for addition, so your multiplication and division take top priority. Here's an example where we want to mix up all four operations. Now remember, the first step is to calculate all your multiplications and divisions, first working them in order from left to right, very important. After that's accomplished, then you can focus on your additions and subtractions, again focusing on calculating from left to right. Our first demonstration. We're going to simplify this expression that you saw a few minutes ago. We're going to focus on what I'm highlighting right here. That's going to be my first step. Keep in mind, what I want to do also is to bring down everything that I am not dealing with. All right? Focusing on just the red, I'm going to first off, you can perform this in your head, that's great. If you have to take it in 2 steps, that's fine too. First thing I'm going to do is multiply 3 times 8, which is 24. You then divide that by the 4, and you're going to get a 6. Now we just have additions and subtractions. Again, your first focus is working from left to right. So we're going to be working 15 plus 6, which is 21. I bring down the 10, and the result is an 11. Okay, here's something you also work with. These little numbers right here, referred to as exponents, if you recall. Just a caution, if we notice 2 to the 4th, the base is the 2, the exponent is the 4, which simply means that you're going to take 2 as a factor 4 separate times, as you can see. A big mistake I notice sometimes is when people multiply 2 times 4 is 8. You notice the actual answer is 16. Another special case would be the base of 1. When you raise that to the 8th power, 1 times 1 times 1, 8 of these multiplied together will still give you the 1. Other special cases, this one right here. If a number doesn't have an exponent, certainly you're going to assign the exponent of 1. 5 to the 1 is equal to 5. Another special case, any number raised to the exponent of 0, the result is 1. So now that we have the exponent, this takes priority over your multiplications and divisions. Remember, the exponent is a shortcut for multiplication, so that does take priority. After we perform all expressions dealing with exponents, you then deal with your multiplications and divisions from left to right, and finally, like we saw in the previous example, your additions and subtractions. We're going to simplify this example. So now the focus is on the exponent. This is what we're worried about right here. Don't do anything but that. You bring down to the next level everything that you're not going to be calculating. 6 squared is 6 times 6, or 36, multiplied by 10, divided by the 6. Your next step, multiplications and divisions from left to right. This is what you're focusing on. As I highlight that, you bring down the 5 minus the 2. You notice I'm not trying to take that and make it a 3 yet. I'm not ready for it. So again, here we have a case of where we perform from left to right. 36 times 10 is 360. And of course, 360 divided by 6 is 60. Now we have our additions from left to right. We work our 5 minus 2 first of all, which is your 3 plus the 60, and of course the final result is 63. Finally, we get to the top dog, the parentheses, or grouping symbols in general. Parentheses we use quite often, but there are other shapes that deal with grouping symbols as well that you'll see later on in the course. And of course, these take top priority. So our steps are, first and foremost, evaluate expressions inside your grouping symbols or parentheses. Your second step, evaluate all your expressions using exponents. And of course, your third step, multiplications and divisions from left to right. Finally, your additions and subtractions from left to right. So you have to be patient, and you take one step at a time. If you're into acronyms, over on the side over here, PEMDAS, you might be familiar with that little word there which stands for all of these steps. Here's our last example before you have your shot at trying one. So what we'll do first of all is deal with our parentheses. And our first focus is this. Everything else gets brought down to the next level. To evaluate inside the parentheses, it's 6 plus 4, or 10, divided by the 8. All right? We go to our next step, if you recall, is the exponent. There's your exponent of 3. The base of the exponent, 3, is the 2. A caution here, that does not equal 6. It's 2 times 2 times 2, or 8. So I bring down this 8 plus the resulting expression with the exponent 3 is 8 times 10 divided by 8. All right, so our next step will be your multiplications and divisions from left to right. So the focus here is, as I'm highlighting, right? So we bring down the 8 and the addition sign, and we work this from left to right as well. 8 times 10 is 80. Divided by 8, of course, is 10, and 8 plus 10 is 18. This is one for you to try. So pause the tape. I'll give you as much time as you need to do it. And when you're ready to, when you've completed the problem, turn the tape back on. I'll work the problem as well, and we'll compare our results. Hello again. All right, let's see what I can do. So the first step is going to be to deal with the parentheses. So I highlight this set of parentheses here. And I can also highlight this set of parentheses here. Those are the first two things I do, and be very careful to bring everything else down. I might point out, did anybody make the mistake of making 1 plus 3, 4? A very simple mistake. Many people make it, but you know this is not the step that we take that. So we bring down the 1 plus the 3 times. And of course, the resulting expression inside the parentheses will be 5 minus 2, or 3. And I assign the exponent 2 minus 16 divided by, evaluate inside the parentheses here, it's an 8. Next step, did you remember the exponent? There's your next step right there. We bring down everything else. 3 to the exponent 2. 3 squared means 3 times 3, or 9. Next step, hopefully you remembered the 3 times 9. And over here, the 16 divided by the 8. Those are the two steps I'll take in this line. You bring the 1 down, the plus. 3 times 9 is 27. Minus 16 divided by 8 is 2. Working from left to right, 1 plus 27 is 28. Minus 2, or 26. Okay, well, I hope this is helpful. Keep practicing, and I'll see you soon, maybe even in class.